Hi, everyone. It's me, Miss Branch, the art teacher, here with part 2 of lesson 3. We started by drawing, and then painting some organic flowers. We drew organic shapes and we connected them all together to a geometric shape, the circle in the middle, and then the whole shape of all the shapes connected makes an organic shape. And we did the complementary colors. Remember, complementary colors are the colors that are opposite on the color wheel. So here's my color wheel, and we look at the squares. So we have our purple and yellow and purple, they are cross each other on the color wheel. Then we have our blue and orange are opposites on the color wheel. And then we have our red and green are opposites on the color wheel. And that is how we get complementary colors. Now, complementary colors mean they make each other look so good. They make each other stand out and like, I look good. Yes, compliments. And everyone loves a compliment. So let me go ahead and switch my video camera so that we can get started on part 2. All right, so from the last video, the last part of this project, we had to let this dry before we could go on. We made some abstract art on a piece of paper, and we made our organic flowers. So the next step to get to this point, we have to go ahead and cut out our flowers. So let's do that first. So I got my scissors, and I'm going to go ahead. And what Miss Branch likes to do when it's a bunch on a piece of paper is cut in between, so you're not making yourself all uncomfortable. So that's 1. That's 2. And 3. I cut it off the big paper first, so I can put all my scraps off to the side. I got other art projects in the way. All right, so now what we have to do is cut close to the line. Now, if you cut on the line or cut out the line, it is fine, because as you can see, some of our paint went out of the line. Let me bring the camera a little closer so you can see. And you can cut out around it and it will still make it an organic shape. But guess what? Me cutting around it made an organic shape. An organic shape is a shape that does not have a name, or it's the shape of something found in nature, like the shape of a leaf, or the shape of an alligator, or the shape of an elephant, or the shape of a tree, or an apple. Anything that's found in nature and you can recognize the shape of it, it's still an organic shape. But those are the only organic shapes that have names, when it's the shape of something that you know. So now I'm taking my time and I'm twisting the paper so that I can cut out my flower. And notice I'm not twisting my scissors. And when the pieces get too long, just cut it off and keep going. And cutting and turning. And notice I'm turning my paper, not my scissors. And another good thing, you want to start at the back of the scissors and just slowly close the scissors mouth and open. I think I'll come back up here. And boom. So I'm put this in my scrap because we can use this later for some more art. So now I'm going to cut up my next flower. Again, just follow the line. It's okay if you cut the line or cut around the line. It is your choice as the artist. You get to make all kinds of cool decisions. Okay, and keep cutting. And if it gets too long, cut it off. and then pick up where you left off. And again, just turn the paper for you. Make it easy for you. And if you accidentally cut it all off or cut it apart, then I think there might be some tape in your kit. So you can go ahead and just tape it back together. Or you can ask your parents to they have tape if there isn't any tape in your kit. Just not sure. All right, that's flower number 2. And my last complementary color flower is my blue and my orange. There we go. And so now we have our flowers ready to go. Now we're going to do our vase, and we're going to do this, make this symmetrical. Now we have an organic pattern on here, so that's pretty cool. And what we're going to do is fold this in half. And you can fold it in half so that your painting part is on the inside. And then you can take your black crayon. You don't have to. You could just cut the lines if you want to, but it's easier this way. Just kind of make a line down the middle of the paper, a wavy line, a zigzag line, a wavy and zigzag line, or just a bumpy line, or any kind of line you want. Because when we cut this out, we're going to have the same thing on both sides. Now I'm going to keep the paper folded. It's very important because you got to cut both pieces halves at the same time. And so I'm just going to follow the line. And these pieces, we can put them off to the side. Oh, but look, if I glue them together, I get a symmetrical design. But we're just going to use the one that we cut out so that it's all together. So now we have a symmetrical vase. You get to decide, is this the top or is this the top? Which way do you like it the best? I think I like it this way with the bigger bottom part on my vase. So now you have to get your stack of color paper that came in your kit. And so you get to choose what color you want for your background and what color you want for your table. So now you have to pick out 2 more sheets of paper. So let's see. Blue, red, orange, yellow, green, purple, brown, black. Ooh, black might be really cool. Okay. And white. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. What happened to my pink? Oh, I know. I used my pink on this one and my light blue. Oh, actually, I have a second stack right here beside me. This was my sample stack. So we have pink and you have light blue in your stack. Miss Frank cracks herself up. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll do pink and purple. I mean, black and the pink. Yes, I think these are my 2. These are my 2. All right, so I'm gonna do, oh, do I want to do light blue? Do I want to do red? I'll do, All right, it's hard to make up your mind because as artists, you got to make lots and lots of choices. I think, okay, I'll go with those 2. All right, so now I'll use pink for my wall color and black is going to be my table color. So because this is my table color, I don't need the whole thing. So I'm going to fold it in half. And of course, cut the line. You guys should be experts at cutting lines by now. We've been cutting lots of lines in all our projects. Now, I need to make this a hot dog fold. That means the long way. I'm coming up like it's a hot dog bread. and putting the two ends together and pressing down. And now I'm going to cut the line. And there I have my table piece, and I have my background piece, my wall color. And this is going to get glued at the bottom of the paper. Now I'm going to use my liquid glue because I just want to. You can use your glue sticks if you want, but I'm going to now, not a lot, just a dot, a dab of glue will do. Not a lot, just a dot, a dab of glue will do. And not a lot, just a dot, a dab of glue will do. And notice I did not put them at the very edge. Don't put them at the very edge, because when you flip it over and rub a little bit, the glue is going to spread and you don't want it to come all out on the edges. So I'm going to flip this over and glue it at the bottom of the paper and rub a little bit. And it sticks. So now my vase that I cut, I got to put this on the table. Don't put it at the top of the table. You're going to put it on the table. So because you don't put things at the edge of the table. What happens when you put things at the edge of the table? Someone comes by, bumps into it, and it falls off. So we want to put it in the middle of the table. So now we're going to glue, but we're not going to glue the very top yet. So the top, we're going to not glue up there. So I'm going to skip the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'll put 2 in the middle. 7, 8 little dots, and I'll bring that camera in so you can see them. I didn't put any glue at the top because I'm going to show you where we're going to have to go underneath the top when we do our flowers. So we got to do that part first. So in the middle of my table, I'm going to rub a little bit, and it sticks. Now, sometimes your paper is too wet when you paint on it. So you gotta, after you rub a little bit, you gotta hold it down and count to 10 slowly. You can't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It'll still pop up on the sides. So you gotta go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there we have our vase. Now we're ready to put out flowers. And you get to pick where you want your flowers to go. You're the artist. You want it to be in front of the vase. It can be on top of the vase. It can be off the paper. They are going to hang off the paper because they're pretty big. It could droop down. They could be in the middle. I kind of like in the middle, but I'm not going to run it. I'm going to run out of some. I can still do that. Yeah. I like this arrangement. It looks pretty cool. Or I could put like on this one where I put one flower up here and this in the corner, and then I have one drooping down. But it's totally up to you how you want your flowers to look. But I kind of like this feel. This just looks good to me. So I think I'm going to do this one. All right. So what I'm going to do first is put my first flower on. And what you're going to do in the middle is not a lot, just a dot. A dab of glue will do. And that's the only place you need to glue. And where on your paper you're going to put it, you're going to put it and rub a little bit, and it sticks. You're not gluing down the petals, just the center. And now you need your green crayon. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift up the petal a little bit, and I'm going to draw a line from the petal to my vase. And I'm going to lift up the top of the vase and come down. So now it looks like it's going in the vase. Now I'm going to trace that line again, right beside it. See how it looks like it's a thicker line? Now I'm going to color it in. And I just made my first stem. So now I get to pick where my other flower's going. There's the other big one. I'm gonna put it over here in this corner. So again, in the middle, not a lot, just a dot. A dab of glue will do. And rub a little bit. And it sticks. So again, I'm gonna lift up the petal and I'm gonna draw a line from there. This time it's more of a curving line. And it goes to my vase. I'm gonna lift my vase up a little bit and go underneath. That's why we didn't put any glue at the top yet. And now I can come right and draw a line right beside it and come down. And now I gotta color it in. And now I wanted this one to be in the middle. So this one's gonna be right there. So again, in the middle, not a lot, just a dot, a dab of glue will do, and rub a little bit, and it sticks. Now I'm gonna lift this up a little bit, and I'm gonna draw a short line into my vase, and then color that in. And now I have my flowers going in my vase. I can put the dot, I'm gonna put 3 dots, 1, 2, 3 on my vase part. And because I've been bending this back, I definitely have to hold it down and slowly count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If it pops back up, put it down again and count for another 10. But I did a pretty good job of pressing hard, letting the glue connect to the paper. Because when you use too much glue, it gets too wet and it doesn't stick well. But if you just use a teeny tiny bit, it looks really cool. Now, I did add some more organic shapes on this one. I added some leaves. So if you want to, you can add some leaves on yours. You just draw a line and you draw the bottom parts like a smile, like you're drawing a smile face. And then at the top part, oops, I broke my crayon. But the good thing about crayons is that you can still use them even though you break them. And set face up top and color it in. I'll do a little leaf here. Line, smile, sad face, color it in. Line, smile, sad face, color it in. And there we have a still life. Now, a still life, that's the part I forgot to explain earlier, is when an artist takes something, some objects, and just draw it or paint it. And we decided to take some flowers and a vase and a table. But sometimes artists put food in their projects, or they'll put a plant, or they'll draw a kitten or a dog, as long as it's like sleeping or just sitting. So that's what a still life is. It's called still life because it's stuff from your life that you're drawing. So there we have our symmetrical vase, same on both sides, our organic flowers with some organic shaped leaves. We have our background and we have our table. We are really making art. All right, everyone, let me switch my camera. All right, so I will see you in the next project. I hope you had fun making your organic flowers with your symmetrical vase and your organic leaves. I hope this was a lot of fun. I will see you in the next video, and I hope you learned a lot. Bye, everyone.